I change your bum life. You fight me, it's a celebration.
I will beat you.
When you sign to fight me, it's a celebration. You ring back home, you ring your wife. Baby, we done it. We're rich, baby. Conor McGregor made us rich. Break out the red panties. We're rich, baby.
Yo, welcome back to the fifth round. As always, myself, Stephen Moustaris. And man, kind of getting away from the UFC finally. This weekend, literally tomorrow night, actually, Friday night, Bellator 277. And I'm really excited about these fights. Clearly, this might be, I would honestly say, at least for two guys like closer to their primes or like highest stakes and stuff, this is easily the biggest fight in Bellator history. The first one was the biggest fight in Bellator history. And, it's a headline between McKee and Petricio, Pitbull, Freer. And then we got, I think we got Nemkov versus Corey Anderson. And then Aaron Pico makes his return. But before I get into those fights, I kind of want to – it's tough, man, because as a diehard MMA fan, I love watching fights. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter if it's amateur, pro. Clearly, we like just talking about the pro shit. And I just like anytime that there's any competitor out there to somebody big, like even like the UFC, even though I'm a diehard UFC fan, I love the UFC. All my favorite fighters are there. I still really love what Bellator is doing. I feel like they've done a really good job in the past couple years, not signing the old heads from the UFC, just getting the name brand out there. Because that was, their former biggest fights were, washed up Rampage Jackson, washed up Chael Sonnen, washed up Tito Ortiz, washed up a bunch of just old guys that, even Fedor, you've seen Fedor go over there and like was a shell of himself. And to see them now really start pushing the young cats and these very talented fighters that, I know that there's that saying out there that, if you're not in the UFC, you're not the best in the world. And we're going to see that with not only the main event, but with McKee and Pitbull, but also with Nemkov and Anderson, even though we've seen Corey Anderson in the UFC. But this is the toughest thing. I really love what they're doing. I know, like, if you're asking me, I like how the UFC has a fight card every weekend, basically. I think they only miss like 2 or 3 fights of the year. I think technically probably like 10 weekends of the year, but it feels like only 2 or 3. And like we had a stacked UFC 273 last week, and then this week they have, for like the average fan, only one good fight. So for the Bellator, they're like more, we'll skip a couple weeks and then bring you a stacked ass card, which I'm really liking. And the up and coming talent there is just ridiculously good. And it's just the one thing I just wish that they're going to get there. I'm pretty sure. I have a lot of faith in them, but it's tough because like even their press conferences and stuff, like I had to watch McKee's press conference yesterday, and it was just, I don't know, it was just like, I guess we're so used to the UFC having such beautiful layouts, and their production's amazing, their marketing's amazing, like, but Bellator, I feel like that's just where you can kind of tell where they lack. And I'm not saying it's probably because of money and stuff, but it's one thing that I really want them to start stepping up on, and making it a little easier to find big press conferences, a little easier to promote their guys. But that's why they got the Ariel Helwani's out there and all these big shows that are out there weighing in and all that you can kind of get them on those shows, like the fighters, and kind of have them themselves promote themselves. But still, it's like I wish that the actual company Bellator would do a little bit better job, especially if they're trying to compete with the UFC. But who the fuck am I to tell them this shit, So, but goes into the fights. First fight that I want to talk about, clearly Aaron Pico. He's making his return, and I know he started off there slow. Like there was so much hype around this guy. Supposed to be the next up and comer. Like I think he was on Team Alpha Male for a little bit there. Like just huge name around him, and I think he went like, I know he lost his Bellator debut. I think he wins like 4 in a row and then loses 2 in a row in emphatic fashion. But now he's on a 5-fight win streak. I feel like he's really starting to come into himself and really get his skills honed in. And I don't know, he's really focusing on how to fight smarter and everything. So, I'm really excited to see what he's got. Every time he fights, I'm always tuning in. But I know he was supposed to fight I think James Kennedy, and he backed out, or Jeremy Kennedy, I think it was But yeah, he backed out. Now he's fighting a guy making his Bellator debut in Audley Edwards, which I'm not even gonna sit here and act like I know anything about him because I don't. But I know he's like 9-1 in his pro MMA career, which is that's hard to do regardless. I don't care who you are. So it's a little tough. I don't think that there's a route that Aaron Pico loses, but I do like how this is just another fight for him under his belt. And I mean, he's fighting at 145, and he's only a couple fights away from really getting in that title shot. And I know I'm going to get into it here talking about the two title fights, but I don't know. I really like what Aaron Pico's got going on. I think it's almost inevitable for him to go over to the UFC here soon. So, but I'm really excited to see what he's got, and he's the other case of it doesn't matter where you're fighting, you can be an amazing pro fighter just even outside the UFC, and that's one of these guys. You can just tell him his skill and everything. The game's evolving all around the world. I mean, there's amateur fighters out there still that are amazing. So it just because you're not in the UFC doesn't mean shit. But goes into the light heavyweight championship. We got Vadim Nemkov and Corey Anderson, and Nemkov has just been on a fucking tear ever since taking the belt from good old Ryan Bader, beating the shit out of him in 2 rounds, and then going on. This man, he's just on a fucking tear. I don't know. I think we just saw him fight Julian Iglesias. I don't think Corey Anderson's got a chance. Like, I'm not trying to be rude here. I know Corey Anderson's got a win over Glover Teixeira. I know he's beat quite a bit of the top contenders over in the UFC when he was there. But this just seems like a stylistic matchup that's just going to be really tough for him. And I know he is on a tear as well in his own little right over in Bellator. I know he's like 3-0. All finishes. Yeah, I think literally all finishes except I think maybe 1 decision, but still 2 knockouts. Beat the shit out of Ryan Bader in just October, and which I've never been a big Ryan Bader fan, but you can't deny he's really good. I am excited. Wouldn't be shocked if Corey Anderson pulls this out, but I just think Nemkov's skill level is just on another level right now, and I just don't think that this is a good matchup for Corey Anderson. Yeah, I guess it would be cool to see him go over there and win and kind of help the UFC's brand a little bit more. Be like, oh yeah, we still got the best fighters, but I don't know. I think Nemkov's going to pull this one out. I think it might be dominant fashion. Corey's no slouch either. I don't even want to take it away, but we've just seen him lose too much in MMA, and the game plan's out there. So I know he has been fighting way better and almost rejuvenated since he's went to Bellator. But I don't know. I'm just thinking Nemkov probably pulls it out in 2nd, 3rd round. I wouldn't be shocked to TKO. I don't see him submitting Corey Anderson. I will be honest with that. But the dude's just an absolute manimal. I think Nemkov's like 7-0 in Bellator, just running through everybody. So I know he's got 2 wins over Phil Davis. I mean, shit, Corey Anderson just beat Phil Davis as well. So I don't know. Phil Davis is still kind of the similar. I think Corey Anderson's probably got better stand-up than Phil, but still at the same time, I think Nemkov just pulls away with this one. I think that his youth is on his side clearly, and I wouldn't be shocked if he goes up to heavyweight and takes over that. So I'm really excited for that fight, that's for sure. And yeah, Nemkov's one of the other guys as well. Like, he could go over to the UFC's light heavyweight division, especially now, and really give people some problems. So we're very excited to see that fight. And then also, I mean, like I'm talking about the rematch here between AJ McKee and Petricio Pitbull, which is easily the biggest fight in Bellator history, especially after the first one. Just AJ McKee just running through him. I mean, good Lord. That fight was quick. I did not see it going that quick. I remember that was probably one of the first times I've ever been truly nervous for a Bellator fight. Bless me. But yeah, seriously, that was like the first time I've ever been nervous for a Bellator fight. And I'm sitting there just like on the edge of my seat. And then next thing you know, thing's over before you could even blink. And AJ McKee's sitting there as a champion. And you can really sense it. It's like, it's his time. I don't think anybody's about to stop him. Jesus Lord, he's talented as fuck. And Pitbull is the other guy that's out there at 145 where you're sitting there like, man, he has those heavy hands and everything, and like just the talent overall. Like, he's been running it forever. I would really like to see him kind of get his crack. It kind of reminds me of Volkanovski, to be honest, but I don't know. It'd be a very interesting cross promotion in any with those two between AJ McKee and Pitbull, even though Pitbull is, I think, 8 years older than AJ McKee. So, because AJ McKee's only born in '95, so he's like a year and a half younger than me. So, yeah, I think I don't know. It's a tough one. I think AJ McKee pulls it out again. Clearly, in my opinion, I just don't think it's going to be as quick. I think we're going to see Pitbull be a little more understanding and more respectful to his stand up and everything. He got caught. I don't want to say caught by surprise. He got caught early, and it was almost like too much for him to really even understand. And then clearly we seen the standing guillotine was beautiful, but I wouldn't be shocked at like a second, third round finish from AJ McKee. Again, he could even take him out of there in the first round. The man's that talented. So I don't know. I'm very excited. I know good Lord, he's got some reach on him. He's taller than him, younger than him. So AJ McKee's just a dog. I don't think I don't see him losing here in a while. And if he does lose to Pitbull, like, it's very understanding, and it's definitely going to expect a trilogy. But I really like how AJ right now is talking about how he's going to beat up Petricio, and then he's going to go up at 155, take the belt, and beat Patrici, who is Patricio's older brother. And he'll just be the Pitbull killer. It's almost like if you go WWE style on it, where good old Randy Orton used to beat all the old guys, and he was always talking about how he's the I forget what just the legend killer or something. I think it was the legend killer. And it's kind of what it feels like with AJ McKee right now, just the Pitbull killer or the Pitbull Slayer, whatever you want to call him. So I don't know. I'm very excited for these fights. I think this card's easily more stacked than the UFC's fight night this weekend, clearly. But I also like how Bellator's on Friday night as well. I will not complain about that. So I'm hoping for the best fights. I know there's a bunch of other fights on there that are going to be interesting. And yeah, Bellator, keep it up, man. I really like this. The double title fight. We got 3 huge fights, almost exactly like last week, and for UFC. So, yeah, I definitely, like I said, I just would like to see them kind of do a little bit better job on their marketing and promotion. But I mean, clearly that goes with anything. I could do better with my shit too. So I'm not sitting here talking shit. I really like how I like seeing competition out there for anybody. I'd like to see competition for the NFL, the NBA, anything. I'd like seeing true good talent out there. So, and as a fight fan, the more fights for me to watch, the better I am, the happier I am. So hell yeah. But this has been the 5th round. Stephen Moustaris as always, and I hope you guys have a good weekend.